All right. Hello there. My name is Quinn. I'm going to be your physical therapist today. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey, well, that's good to hear. We're glad that you're doing all right. So, if you wouldn't mind, before we get started with anything, could you tell me your name and your date of birth?
My name is Mrs. Jennings, and I was born on 1/1/1901.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. So, how's everything been going? It's been a few days since you had your surgery, and how have you been feeling?
My chest hurts.
Okay. What kind of chest pain have you been experiencing? Could you describe it?
Yeah, it's like right on the cut that they did.
Okay. Does it feel sharp, heavy pain? Is it a dull ache?
No, just it like hurts where they cut. Just I don't know.
Okay.
It hurts.
Have you had any other pain going down your arms or in your face or in your back?
No.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like what we're dealing with is just the pain from the incision,
Okay.
which is to be expected, obviously. How about your leg? They took a graft from your leg. How's that been feeling?
I haven't been able to feel too much in my legs, so
Okay.
it's good.
Okay. Good. We will assess both of those cuts and incisions, make sure that they're all healing the way they should be in a minute. How have you been feeling with all the exercises and things that the other therapists have had you doing?
There was a lot. I don't remember all of them.
Okay.
I've been doing okay with them.
Okay. Doctors have been hammering you with some stuff called sternal precautions. We're going to go over that until you can say it backwards and forwards because those are very important. What do you remember of your sternal precautions?
To not reach my arms really far out.
Good.
I know I'm supposed to hug something when I cough.
Awesome.
And I shouldn't push with my arms.
Right. And all the force that you do with your arms, we're limiting it to 5 pounds or less. Okay. So it's hardly anything at all. Makes things very difficult, but that's just kind of what we have to do for this stage of your rehab so that everything can heal the way it should.
Okay.
How's everything been going with your dizziness and nausea and
I'm still nauseous.
Okay.
When I'm still, I'm not that dizzy.
Okay,
So I'm not
good.
dizzy right now.
How about the shortness of breath?
I am a little short of breath, but I feel that pain where they cut when I just breathe in.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Well, I want to go over a couple things with you real quick.
Okay.
One of them is a dizziness scale.
Okay.
And it's, or not a dizziness, excuse me, just the shortness of breath. It's called a dyspnea scale, which is a fancy term for shortness of breath.
Okay.
So they rate shortness of breath from 0 to 4. 0, you have zero problem breathing. 4, it feels like an elephant sitting on your chest, you can't breathe. And 1 is you have some slight difficulty breathing. 2 is moderate difficulty. 3 is severe. And then 4, like I said, is that elephant on your chest.
Okay.
So you want, for your stage of where you're at right now, we want to keep that shortness of breath at a 1 or a 0.
Okay.
We don't want it to be difficult at all. So if you feel like anything's getting challenging, either in the hospital or when you go out, take a break, sit down and rest, and let that dissipate before you keep going on whatever you're doing, okay? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, before we do anything else, I want to check your vitals here laying in bed, and then we will get you sitting up and we'll do some other stuff, okay?
Okay.
Okay. May I borrow your left arm, please?
Sure.
Fantastic. Thank you.
There's a lot of people in this hospital room.
There are a lot of people that need help. Okay. Mind if I share your bed for a second? pressure is where we expect it to be for this point. And I'm just going to check your heart rate. Alright, and then before we get up, would you mind if I checked your incision on your chest?
Sure.
And then on your leg as well?
Sure.
Okay. So just take a look here. Okay, that's good. Here, we'll keep it modest. Alright, looks like everything's healing up there. Have you had any pain in the back of your leg?
No.
Good. No redness or swelling. And then, how about this leg? Any tenderness? Okay, awesome. All right. Well, everything's looking pretty good there. How would you feel about standing up or sitting at the edge of your bed, and we'll go over some other stuff?
That sounds good.
Okay. We'll take this sheet off of you here. All right. Move this out of our way. Maybe. There it goes. All right. Okay. So we're gonna have you scoot over to the edge of the bed a little bit. Can you use your back and your bum to kind of wiggle your way towards me a little? Awesome, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do you remember how they've gotten you out of bed in the past?
I know I'm supposed to cross my arms.
You are, because we don't want you using your arms. So, it becomes a little bit of a trickier part. So, we're gonna have you roll over onto your right side a little bit, and your legs are gonna swing off the table. I'm gonna be right here. Good. And we'll just help you up here. Good. How you feeling sitting here at the edge of the bed?
A little dizzy.
Okay. Let's have you go ahead and march your feet back and forth. How's that feeling? Want to try and get that dizziness to go away?
Feels better.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. So next thing we're gonna do,
Good morning, Miss Jimmy.
I'm gonna have you move your arms, but we're just gonna move one arm at a time, and they're not gonna go above your shoulder, okay? So let's have you move your left arm, or your right arm, whichever you'd like. We'll go out to the side and back to the middle. Good. Let's have you straighten it, bend it, and go ahead and straighten it all the way out. And we're gonna have you lift it up to your shoulder. Perfect.
It's hard.
That is challenging. Go ahead and bring it back down. Good. Let's do the same thing with your right arm now. Good. Now bent and straight. Good. We'll have you lift it just right to there. Just remember, just to your shoulder. Good catch. Good. Go ahead, back up to the shoulder height one more time. Good. And back down. Okay, how's that feeling? Okay. So another thing that is really big right now, since you can't use your arms as well, is trunk strength and stability. So what I'm gonna have you do, go ahead and place your arms across your chest again. And then we're just gonna practice leaning from one side to the other. Yeah, it's a little challenging. Good. We're just working on getting those core muscles used to controlling your body while you move. Now let's go forward and backwards.
You're not feeling woozy or anything. It's pretty good. That's
Good.
Okay. So I read your chart that
Okay, awesome.
or maybe
So,
done yesterday.
next time you're sitting in your chair or at the end of the bed, I want you to practice that. I want you just to move side to side and forward to backwards, okay? But make sure you're not losing your balance too much. We want it to be challenging, but we don't want you to fall. And we don't want it to be too stressful on you. So if you're starting to breathe heavy, take a break, chill out, okay? So, next thing we're gonna have you do, I wanna teach you how to take your own pulse. because that's something you need to be able to do to make sure your heart is staying at the appropriate workload. We don't want to work your heart too heavy right now because it's still recovering from the surgery. So, if you put your hand, your two fingers, right above your watch before you get to your thumb, just on that outside of the wrist, you should feel a little ropey tendon on the inside and then a bony hard part on the outside. Right in between those runs an artery. Can you feel anything pulsing?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, what we're gonna have you do is for 30 seconds, we're gonna have you feel that pulse and count how many times you feel it pulse.
Okay.
Okay? So that means you either need to have a clock in front of you at home or a watch with a second hand
Okay.
so that you can keep track,
Can I do
okay?
it on either hand?
You can do it on either hand, so if you want to do it on the right, then you can see your watch. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and start counting.
How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, he's been super supportive, so it's awesome. And we're ready to get out of here, so I think he's just as tired as I am.
I know, yeah, it's, again, it's hard to sleep.
And say that was 30 seconds. How was that? What did you get?
Can you remind me, do you have any stairs at home?
Got
Okay, so you're at a flat.
92.
Okay,
To get to your bedroom. Okay.
so that's great. 92 is a little bit on the higher end of where we want you to be, but I'm glad you got that. It's gonna take some practice. What we're gonna have you do, we're gonna have you practice until you're within 6 beats of the monitor that's up on the wall, okay?
Okay.
Or whenever somebody comes in to take your heart rate,
Do you
have them, have you do it yourself, and then you have them check and you see how close you were, okay?
Okay.
So, sitting on the edge of the bed here, we're gonna take your vitals one more time, make sure nothing's changed, and then do this. Can I borrow your left arm again, please? Thank you.
Are you taking any other medications, or any supplements, anything like that? No? Is your current medications?
Okay.
Yeah, just put those on my normal medication list. I'm not taking anything extra from home or anything like that yet.
Okay.
Whatever they're giving me here.
And then I read that you guys went over sternal precautions yesterday, and you feel pretty, you went through the class,
Alright,
stage
fantastic.
3 cardiac class, so,
Looks like you're still within normal, hasn't jumped too high. I'm gonna check your heart rate as well.
Not putting excessive pressure through my arms.
yes.
Everything's looking like it should be.
So don't, yeah, don't be moving.
And then one quick thing,
You have a good handle on that.
we're gonna check your O2, so if I could borrow your finger.
Since you're gonna be helping her at home.
And then while we're waiting for that to read, here in the hospital,
Okay, great.
we've got everything you need medication wise. Has the doctor talked to you at all about nitroglycerin?
Is that the stuff that's under my tongue?
It is. So, when you go home, I'm sure the doctor will send you with some of that.
Great.
We wanna make sure that you know when you're supposed to use that. So, could you explain to me what the doctor told you about nitroglycerin?
If I have chest pain, that I should take that, and if I take more than 2, I should call.
Sounds like it probably would be a good idea.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Do you remember what kind of chest pain he was talking about though?
Endurance and help you get your heart stronger and some of that support.
Okay, so if it is a sharp chest pain that feels like it's right over top of your heart,
Are they gonna refer
that makes it
to a
difficult to breathe.
particular
You've got
place
pain
or-
that starts going down the arm or in your face or in your back.
Yeah, I can, I'll talk to your doctor.
Then those are chest pains that really scare us. If it's just a dull ache from your cut from the surgery, then that's not something we're as concerned about. You don't need to take your nitroglycerin for.
Okay. Questions?
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
No, we
All right.
covered pretty much,
So
good stuff, you know.
the other therapists have taught you some breathing techniques.
Still having a little bit of
Do you remember breathing through your belly?
chest
I do remember that.
Hey, could you show me what you've learned?
That's great.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
sniff some through my nose,
So, I'm gonna go ahead
help
today.
with my belly, and
Fantastic.
breathe out my mouth.
Good. Fantastic. So that's something we want you to continue to practice doing, because that diaphragm that makes you breathe through the belly is the biggest muscle that we have to help us breathe.
Okay.
Plus, if you're breathing through your belly, you're not going to be putting as much stress through the chest, okay?
I
Do you feel comfortable with the coughing technique that they showed you with the pillow, or would you like to practice that?
I think I'm okay with that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Well,
so
then,
we got consent there.
I'm gonna get the gate belt on you,
Okay.
and we're gonna do some walking, okay? So that's
Sounds
our
great.
exercise for the
We're
day.
gonna start by taking your blood pressure while you're at rest here.
And your arms up a little
Okay,
bit.
so I'm gonna go ahead first, and I'm going to just
Uh-oh.
put this
Oh.
on here.
Good catch. Snag that IV a little bit.
Alright, so I'm just gonna pretend this bed was a little more narrow, and I'm on the side and not in bed with you, but, you know, whatever works.
So okay?
Yes.
Okay, want it to be nice and snug, but we don't want it to be too tight.
And I'm gonna
All right,
have it
so,
vertical, just really quick.
Do you remember the trick to standing up without using your arms?
Okay.
Lean over, don't
Suck
put my
it
hands on
strong.
the walker, and
Right.
just press to my feet.
Exactly. So, let me get the walker. Walker right here. And I'm gonna hold on to our gate belt to help you up if you
Okay.
need it, okay?
Okay.
And I'll go on your count.
1, 2, 3.
Good.
I'm a little dizzy.
Okay, go ahead and hang on to that walker. Let's go ahead and do some more of those little steps. How's that feeling?
Much better.
Okay, good. All right, so I want to practice a little bit of balance activity, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm gonna have you do, I'm gonna have you
Alright,
take your
110.
hands off the walker.
That's within
I've
your
got you
normal
here.
range from yesterday.
And I'm just gonna have you
So,
shift your weight
like I said, I
from
wanna
right
get you up
to
today
left
and get
foot.
you walking. Just to get you started, like to go ahead
How's that
and
feeling?
practice some of those ankle
Okay,
pumps you've
I'm
been
a little
going over.
nauseous, but not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, how those been going?
Starts
by the
getting
way?
any worse, you let me know and we'll stop, or if the dizziness or shortness of breath
great.
kicks
I
in.
love to hear that.
Yeah.
I love to
Doing
hear
okay?
my patients
Okay,
doing
awesome.
Ready to get out of here.
Then I also want you to do some marches.
Okay, so we're gonna do that for 2 minutes.
That is hard.
Yep.
So you just keep pumping
You
away.
gotta challenge you so you're good enough to go home. Do you have any concerns or worries about going home that you would like me to address?
We've done 2 minutes.
I'm afraid to slip in the shower.
Okay. What do you have in the shower that's gonna help you stay safe? Do you have grab bars or a mat?
Brachial
No.
slides, I love it.
Okay. Well,
And then
I
do
will
read
get
your
somebody in
chart,
here
so
to
we're working
help
on that
you
diaphragm
get set up
breathing
with all of
style.
those things,
It looks like you're doing
because we want you to stay
pretty
safe,
well,
no falls,
yeah.
okay?
You're having a little
How about stairs? Do you have any stairs at home that we need to be worried about?
No.
So I'd like
Okay,
to
good.
practice that for
Because otherwise we'd have to
just
practice some
read
in the
up
hospital
all
before you
those
go home.
patterns and read up.
All right.
Okay.
And then,
So you put your hand on your chest.
support-wise, do you have anybody that's gonna be there to help you out?
Belly rise.
I have my
Yeah, you're
niece,
doing great.
Allie.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Has she been coming in and visiting you at the hospital at all?
Now we're gonna go ahead. and
Yes.
get you
Okay,
out.
good. Next time she's
Actually, we're
in,
gonna check your insulin.
hopefully either today or tomorrow, we can sit down with her and talk to her a little bit about what's going on and how she can best help you, okay?
Okay.
Ready to start walking?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna head out to the door to your room there, and we're gonna go for a little walk.
The color looks good, and I don't see excessive seepage or
How you feeling?
it's looking very healthy.
Good.
Well,
Just
Awesome.
tiring.
and also let's go ahead and
That's
check.
to be expected, but if we don't start working you, you're not gonna get any stronger.
Excellent. Good. There. And then I had a couple questions. I know we asked a lot of questions.
Alright.
Such a good sport.
Now, we're gonna have you turn around and head on back into the room. Ms. Jennings, you are a rock star. You're doing so much better. You walked for a full 6 minutes today,
Whoa.
which is fantastic. That's right where we want you to be for this stage. Would you like to sit back down? Would you like to lay back down in your bed or sit in the chair today?
I want to lay down.
Okay, let me get the IV pulled to this side of you,
Good.
and then we'll have you come on back towards the bed.
Well, no, I don't know if I can walk backward.
We'll tell you what, let's go ahead and turn a little bit here.
Neither calf is
Have this here
forward.
so it's not getting in the way. There.
And
Oh, that's much easier.
All right,
You're so helpful.
do my best. Okay, how you feeling sitting there?
Okay.
You
Better.
lightheaded or dizzy at all?
No.
Okay, awesome. Well, while we have you here, I'm gonna take a quick
Okay, so I'm gonna
vital check.
get you out here.
Make sure everything's looking good.
Okay, so do you remember, we went over getting up yesterday?
It's good.
Alright, so you couch out
2 eyes.
2. Okay, so what, I'm gonna have you do, I'm gonna have you use your left, like, bend your left leg. And I want you to go ahead and push off of that leg and roll onto your side. So we'll do that first. Yeah, keep your hands raised across your chest there. And then what I want you to do, I'm gonna have you have your legs go down and then I want you to go up like a pendulum. Okay, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, up we go. Okay. How are you feeling?
How you feeling?
Okay, let's just take a second here.
Glad to
Oh
hear
no,
it.
you're down.
All right.
Okay, so how are you feeling?
Get belt here off of you because you don't need that much in there.
Okay, I'm
Just
just
get
going
in
to
the way.
get this gate bolt around.
Plus, it doesn't look that fashionable.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it really low so that I don't hurt your shoot my pass.
Right. All right. Well, you ready to lay back down?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, if you remember, it's just the reverse of how you got up.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we're gonna have you lean down to the side, pick your feet up, one at a time.
Oh my goodness.
How you doing?
I'm gonna need a nap.
Okay. Well, let's get you all tucked in here, and we'll let you
Okay,
take
so
a
why don't you
nap.
go ahead and do your ankle pumps just to help with the
Okay.
weakness here.
Do you have any other questions or concerns for me, Ms. Jennings?
But it's not,
No.
so.
Okay. Well,
Sometimes
I will
hospital
leave
beds
you
are
to
up
your
and
nap.
sometimes
Thanks so
they're
much. You
not.
worked hard and you deserve it.
Thank you.